Hi everyone again. So now we have Busola and Victor from Gevo Africa. And so yeah, welcome. Nice to have you here. And so tell us about yourself.
Okay, good. I'll go first. So my name is Busola. I run a research company in Nigeria called Versa Research. We provide data, insights, and foresights to small businesses to help them build more scalable and sustainable businesses. And
yeah, hi, my name is Victor. I'm a founder of Gevo. It's a recycle tech company where we help communities go circular, in their processes and their living. Yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Excellent. So tell us about your paper. Tell us about the research.
Okay, so our paper is a case study on some of the work that my company did with Gevo to help design and build the Gevo solution. So we started off by just understanding what the problem was with communities when it comes to waste disposal. We have different stakeholders, so households, what is the problem when it comes to waste disposal, the state waste authorities, what problems do they face, and then the different recyclers and off-takers. And then we also spoke to them regarding what the solutions might be when it comes to waste disposal. So all of this, let me just take a step back. All of this is founded on the basis that in Nigeria we have an issue with climate change. We're being attacked from every corner of from the north, south, east, and western part of the country. Climate change is affecting us. Loss of diversity, biodiversity, mudslides, increase in temperature. But we also have an issue with youth and women unemployment. And so Gevo had an idea that they could provide a solution that tackles climate change as well as youth and women unemployment. So we took a step back to understand what exactly is the problem with waste disposal before we come up with Gevo's solution, or before we see if the idea that Gevo has can actually be actualized into a solution. And so we started with a problem solution fit. Afterwards, we were able to understand one of the main learnings was the role of incentives in changing behavior. So if we want people to change their waste disposal behavior, the idea is to get people to recycle, to separate and recycle. If we want them to do that, we have to incentivize their behavior. And that's really the basis of the research, understanding how to change behavior, how to impact the environment, and how to impact people and elevate people's socioeconomic standing. Yeah.
So that's honestly a huge task for a country as large as about 100 million.
So we have 200 million people, 100 million youth. Yes.
100 million youth.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes. It is incredible. It is a lot of work. 42% of the youth are unemployed. So that's really where the value proposition of Gevo is. Yes, climate change is important, but to be honest, it's lurking in the background because the most important thing right now, or what people are facing, is unemployment and the challenges that unemployment brings with it. So Gevo is supposed to address those issues that are in the forefront, unemployment, as well as those lurking in the background. Like right now, we're in rainy season in Nigeria, which is a complete mess because the amount of rainfall has increased and the infrastructure cannot support that amount. So we need to do something, right, to be able to brace for climate change that is coming. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So kind of getting a little bit more into this, so there's the credit system. Can you go into a bit more detail with that, explain how you think it's going to be effective?
Yeah, so for us at Gevo, again, as part of the research, as part of the results for the research, our system is a platform system, and it leverages on advanced technologies like Internet of Things and computer vision to collect data in the process of waste management in communities. And so yeah, because of the way we've designed the product, as it were, we're then able to get access to some of these things like carbon credits and plastic credits, because at the end of the day, it's about having verifiable and traceable information. Those are the baselines, and those are the base base concept for most of access to these markets. So yes, some of these markets are abused, but in an ideal scenario, there's traceability and transparency is key, and that is what our system provides. But of course, also, and I guess more importantly for market research, it also gives an insight into the consumption patterns in communities. Because we collect in 2-kilometer radiuses, we collect from people, from households, we can understand what people are consuming in those communities. We can understand the brands that they're consuming. We can understand the SKUs that are being consumed in those communities. And when you then compare them in different communities or in different locations in different states, the amount of insight, the amount of that can be generated from that is potentially going to revolutionize the way we do marketing generally in parts of the world where the data is not collected in the market. Especially so parts of Africa and Asia. A lot of trade is done in the open market, and so compared to in these parts where you have credit card information and loyalty cards to track people's consumption, it doesn't exist. So really, your recyclables is the most personally an important part and tells a lot about a person. So yes, these are things that again the data platform or the technology platform enables us create and chase. Yeah.
It's impressive. So how would you think that, for example, like your research as is very applicable into, for example, some of the Asian countries like you said, is there any plans to kind of like expand on that, or are you just trying to focus on the African market, sub-Saharan African, or?
Well, I think for us, we've kind of built a product with not just Africa in mind. It's it's a solution for places where they have infrastructure challenge, right? And there was a report released recently by Google, and it's not just a third world thing, right? Almost everywhere has an infrastructure challenge. So let's not list names of countries here. I think yes, even though we're initially starting in sub-Saharan Africa, we do intend to expand across to other places. So we want to have 1,000 centers in the next 5 years, and then after that, I'm sure there'll be, we might be coming to a community next to you.
Yeah, and from the research point of view, right? So we have designed the research in a way where it's replicable. So every time a new Jivo center opens up, the same research or the same types of research are conducted in the center. And so to your point, it's something that can definitely be scaled because it's research that is replicable and kind of like a template that can be copied every time new Jivo center is open, wherever the Jivo center is open. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so what's next? Apart from obviously expanding, is there any other aspects that you wanted to like focus on, or is this really just trying to build up on the Jivo network?
So from a research point of view, we're doing a lot more work to understand diversity, equity, and inclusion. So to really understand how the solution is impacting communities and elevating socioeconomic status. So where were people before, where are they at the 6-month mark, 1-year mark, and so on. And really using that to really just, as I mentioned, understand the impact, as well as community mapping, right? So tied to what Victor mentioned earlier, just really using that to understand communities and the intricacies within communities. So yes, we all share something as a country, for example, but within communities, there's also diversity and understanding that within communities.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, like you said, it's really, for us to really focus on expansion, but with that expansion comes research. We're in a build, measure, learn phase, micropiloting across different communities with the intent to have about 20 by next year. We have about 5 right now. And yes, again, like I mentioned, we want to have 1,000 in 5 years. But to do that, the technology base has to be strong. And so the market research that is being done, we have some other external partners that are also working with us to try and get us to this goal. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Thank you.
No,
yes.
I wish you the best of luck on it. It's something I'm very interested in myself. Hope to go into more sustainable areas in the future. So from what I've read, it's exciting, and I wish you an incredible future with it, and looking forward to the next bit of research.
Thank you.
So Bisola and Victor, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of Congress, and I hope to see you soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.